The top headlines: Ethiopia announces plans to adopt a strategy for the inclusion of marginalized groups. And human rights activist calls for African nations to unite in addressing the continent's challenges. Greetings and welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. I'm Hikma Tamam with the news for the hour. Do stay with us. President Taye Asqassalassy bid farewell to Ambassador Julia Neate, who concluded her tenure as the Australian ambassador to Ethiopia. During the meeting, the president expressed gratitude for her contributions in strengthening the bilateral relations between the two nations. Ambassador Neate played a key role in promoting cooperation between Ethiopia and Australia, focusing on areas such as trade, education, and development. Her work helped deepen the ties between the two countries, which have maintained diplomatic relations since 1965. The president highlighted the historical significance of the relationship, which began with Australia's first ambassador, Walter Crocker, based in Nairobi. As the ambassador prepared to leave, she thanked Ethiopia for its support, while both sides expressed optimism about future collaboration. Ethiopia and AeTrade Group have signed a host country agreement to establish the East Africa regional headquarters in Addis Ababa. The agreement aims to promote the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, create jobs and boost Ethiopia's digital economy. During the signing, State Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Misgano Arga, highlighted the government's support for AeTrade's operations, stressing the importance of the agreement for job creation and startups. AeTrade CEO Mulalem Siyum, for his part, emphasized their commitment to investing in Africa's new markets and helping Ethiopian businesses benefit from AfCFTA. AeTrade Group is dedicated to enhancing African trade through empowerment programs and fostering a stronger intra-African business ties. The National Rehabilitation Commission reports that 5,728 ex-combatants in Ethiopia's Tigray region have successfully reintegrated into the society. This comes as part of the ongoing disarmament, demobilization and reintegration program, which aims to reintegrate 75,000 former combatants in Tigray. As of now, 6,625 ex-combatants have entered the rehabilitation and training centers, with 5,728 having already completed the reintegration process. Colonel Belay Abebe, Director of Program Planning and Monitoring at the NRC, stated that Mekele and Edega Hammuz centers are actively training these individuals, with plans for a third center in Adwa. The DDR program, which is a key part of Ethiopia's efforts to address the root causes of violence, focuses on transitioning ex-combatants into civilian life. It includes providing them with education, vocational training, and employment opportunities to ensure their successful reintegration into the society. Welcome back, and now moving on, Ethiopia is developing a strategy to ensure equitable access to digital resources for marginalized groups, including refugees and host communities. State Minister of Innovation and Technology Yeshrun Alamayo emphasized this goal during a social dialogue on an inclusive and transformative digital strategy in Addis Ababa, organized by the Ministry of Innovation and Technology and the International Labour Organization. Shagai Mato reports.
Rooted in Ethiopia's internal reform program, Digital Ethiopia 2025 strategy has brought significant achievements to leverage digital opportunities and propel Ethiopia towards a knowledge-based and innovative economy. Talking to EVC English, Stefano Pio, Chief Technical Advisor for the International Labour Organization, and Petris Chinko, Technical Officer at ILO, commended the Digital Ethiopia 2025 in building inclusive digital economy, although much more is expected to do to benefit refugees and host communities as the country Ethiopia is home to more than 1 million refugees.
It goes without saying that 35% of the population having access to internet connectivity is a significant milestone. So Ethiopia, through the Ministry of Innovation and Technology, but also through the Communications Authority in Ethiopia, are working together to make these strides come to fruition. So for us, we see that as a positive, but it's not the end. So how can we increase the percentage and the number of people accessing digital opportunities? So one of the positives as well, we see the recent announcement by the government of Ethiopia to create 5 million jobs. The 5 million job initiative is a good one, and our investment is focused on how to enhance those opportunities that young people can tap into the 5 million job initiative in the digital economy for coders and so on.
We really commend the government's plans of not only building the digital economy, but ensuring that really it is inclusive. And I think this is a good example to set for other countries in the region and also in the world. And it gives a strong statement that for the second largest hosting country of refugees.
After conducting an assessment of the Digital Ethiopia achievements, the government of Ethiopia, along with other stakeholders, is working to bridge technological gaps and ensure equitable access to digital resources for refugees and host communities in Ethiopia. A social dialogue on an inclusive and transformative digital strategy was held in Addis Ababa, organized by Ethiopia's Ministry of Innovation and Technology and the International Labour Organization. On the occasion, the State Minister of Innovation and Technology, Yeshrun Alamayo, said that his ministry, along with international labour organizations, are working on the adoption of a comprehensive national 5-year digital technology to enhance the inclusion and protection of refugees and host communities.
After an agreement of the ILO Prospects project in Ethiopia, through the Opportunity Fund project, which is on promotion, inclusion and protection of refugees and host communities in the gig economy, the Ministry of Innovation and Technology gave more focus on the adoption of a comprehensive national 5-year digital inclusion strategy that also considers the integration of refugees and internally displaced people and also the host communities that can contribute to and benefit from the digital transformation taking place in the country.
So the ILO Prospects program is very glad to be here to participate and to moderate this event that is to validate the findings of a recent assessment that was done by the Ministry of Innovation and Technology that looks at the particular opportunities and challenges faced by refugee hosting areas in Ethiopia and how their realities can be integrated in the national digital inclusion strategy that is underway in the Ethiopian government.
Stefano Pio, Chief Technical Advisor at the ILO, expressed his commitment to working with the Ethiopian government on inclusive and transformative digital strategy for Ethiopia, as his organization is investing on policy inclusion and capacity building for people to connect to platforms.
Investments we have are focused on policy, but also on capacity building of partners, including government, to ensure that we have the digital divide lowered in terms of the policy inclusion, but also in terms of the actual work on the ground with young people having access to connectivity, but also to platforms where they can engage on gig economy opportunities.
The event brought together key stakeholders, including government officials, workers' unions, and employer associations, to validate Ethiopia's 5-year national digital inclusive strategy.
And now moving into the final news, human rights activist Amin El-Hag, speaking with EBC, called for African nations to unite in addressing the continent's challenges. Reflecting on Sudan's crisis, he emphasized the importance of finding African solutions for African problems. Tagesser Nisa has the following report.
Climate change crisis, food insecurity, disrupted education system due to various reasons, corruption, unemployment, insecurity are considered to be the challenges African nations face. Approached by EBC, human rights activist Amin El-Hag stressed on the need for African nations to come in unison to tackle challenges faced by multiple nations across the continent.
We have a lot of problems. We have drugs. We have poverty. We have guns. We have our natural resources stolen, sent outside. We have a lot. And each country cares about itself. And here we need to come all together and watch all these things and take actions. And we cannot do that, so we need all to come together in one strong organization, not as AU, as one nation. And this one nation is open for anybody to join.
The conflict that erupted in Sudan in April 2023 resulted in the largest displacement crisis of the year, with 6.1 million Sudanese fleeing to other areas within the country and 1.5 million people seeking safety abroad. Reflecting on that, the human rights activist highlighted on coming up with African solutions for African problems.
To end the war in Sudan, it has to come from us as Africans. We have to stand up and have to say, no, we don't need nobody from outside to come and tell us what to do. We can do it ourselves. But the problem is, if you ask them individually, they'll tell you, yes, I need the war in Sudan to stop today. That's individually. But together, and they cannot succeed individually. But no one tried together. That's why I'm here, trying my best to meet His Excellency, the Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, and I'm trying my best to meet His Excellency, the President of the AU, Moussa Faki, because we need to reshake the AU. The resolution is there. If we reshake it and stand up and unite, in few days, we can stop the war in Sudan.
He further disclosed that, paying a visit to Ethiopia, he feels home away from home.
I've been welcomed in the houses, the Ethiopian houses. I'm living now with an Ethiopian friend. I'm here, Ethiopian studio. Everywhere, they welcome me as Ethiopian, not as a foreigner, no. I see Sudanese around in the streets, eating and drinking and laughing. And they are living here and in schools, and some of them have businesses.
You feel home, right?
I feel I am at home. I am home. Yeah. A lot of restaurants, a lot of food, Sudanese food around you can eat. The music, Sudanese. So Sudan and Ethiopia is one nation. We are never two nations.
To fully realize African solutions to African problems, it is suggested that there is a need to address shortcomings through sustained efforts, pooling resources, knowledge, and experts investing in addressing potential conflicts before they escalate.
Well, that's the news we have for the hour, but before I go, the recap of the top stories once again. Ethiopia announces plans to adopt a strategy for the inclusion of marginalized groups. And human rights activist calls for African nations to unite in addressing the continent's challenges. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for tuning in to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. Goodbye.